3, 2, 1. Hello to the nation, Dr. PlayStation Nation here. Tech is over a little bit of a mod spotlight. As you guys can see, we are here in the mod spotlight world, and today the mod that we're going to be talking about is the Aoe Enchants mod by Lithiel. So hopefully you guys do enjoy. Make sure you slam that like button down below if you do, and check out any of my other mod spotlights if you guys are interested in those. But anyway, without further ado, let's kind of get started. So these are all the enchants that the mod's going to add in these various items. So we have, a ton of swords here, nearly a dozen swords. We got several swords. We have a couple suits of armor, pretty much, without the helmets, and then an extra boot here, and then we also got some picks, guys. So I'm actually going to run out here, and we're going to start testing these guys out, and I'm going to show you guys everything that these do. So anyway, we are going to grab the bows first, because the bows are probably the most confusing of them, and once those are out of the way, it'll make everything a little bit easier. So we're actually only going to go over, so for some reason we have two of those in there, we're actually only going to go over the Aoe Enchants, because the Aoe Enchants are pretty much the same thing, and we'll talk about that exactly. So I'm going to move the Aoe Enchants up here. And there's a Wither version of all these sort of enchants, and there's also a AoE version of all these enchants. So if we actually just move these over here, so you guys will see Wither, Poison, Slow Arrow effect, and then Slow, Poison, Wither, AoE effect. The difference is the AoE effect, when you get shot by the arrow, will affect you and anybody within 3 blocks of you. The arrow effect will only affect the person who has been shot. So that basically just means that there's a trade-off. So yeah, you might be able to affect more people with this, but that also means that you could affect yourself. Yes, when you shoot somebody with the AoE effect, if you are within 3 blocks of them, you will get that effect as well. The next one is going to be Blast effect. Pretty basic. You guys cause an explosion, except for in this, there's only a small chance of it actually breaking blocks. You then have the Remote Detonator, so when you guys shoot a creeper, it'll actually cause the creeper to blow up instantly, so there's no tss, it just blows up. You have the Demon Hunter, which will increase damage against mobs that are in the nether, and then also Quick Draw. So there is a couple things that I would like to mention. One, I haven't really noticed how Quick Draw is really that much faster. Don't really know why. I'll let you guys decide. Maybe it is a little bit faster. I would have liked a much faster bow. But anyway, moving on to the actual ones that will affect you. So we're gonna go over the poison and the wither and all that sort of stuff. So I'm using zombie pigmen, which means that the poison actually isn't going to affect them, so we can't actually show you guys, but you guys are just going to have to trust me. So we shoot them with the wither effect. As you guys can see, he's taking the wither effect, and that's going to hurt him. As you guys can see, again, getting affected by that wither effect, and you guys can see all that sort of stuff. Now, again, with the slowness, you won't really see them acting very slow, but if I were to, get out of game mode here, you guys would be able to see them try and walk up to me, and they're walking a little bit slower than normal, I would guess. If we give ourselves, I'm actually going to go about giving myself some arrows here so I can actually shoot while I'm not in game mode. But anyway, so if we were to go here, and then we hit E, and there we go. So you guys will see that he's running up to me, and if I were to shoot him with this, which I think is the wrong one. There we go. This third one is the slowness one. So as you guys can see, damn it, it didn't work how I wanted it to go. We'll try it out. We'll try it out one more time here. There we go. So if I were to shoot this guy, you'll see that he's going to try and come up to me, but he's going to be walking very slow until the effect wears off after a few seconds. So very slowly, and then he will take off against me, which is kind of cool. So anyway, let's kill him and keep on going. So the next one's going to be Blast. I can show you guys that basically right here. As you guys can see, the blasts do go off, which will look quite cool, and I think they're awesome. But they actually don't break blocks, which is kind of cool. So you can shoot creatures that are inside, mob spawners or in your house and not have to worry about them blowing everything up. The next one would be the Remote Detonator. So again, we're going to switch over back into game mode here, and we will be able to grab some creeper eggs like so. And if we were to spawn one of these guys in and use the Remote Detonator here, and use the Remote Detonator, it'll instantly blow up, which that got really close to my house, so I'm glad I shot him then. So then we have the Demon Hunter. So as you guys can see, the bows before were doing around 5 or 6 hearts of damage. The Demon Hunter 3 bow actually does 9 or 10, so quite a lot. The next one is going to be the Quick Draw, and again, didn't really notice a huge difference. Maybe I'm just silly and and I don't know the difference, but anyway, that was that. Now moving on to the final, so these were the actual AoE ones. The AoE ones we're not going to really talk about, just because they're pretty much the same thing, except for they affect mobs within 3 blocks of each other, or players within 3 blocks of each other. This is the same wither effect. We're going to throw that away. So now we're going to go on to the swords, guys. So we're actually going to order these up in the way that I want to talk about them. We're going to throw those over there. So again, just like before, you guys are going to see certain ones like the poison. You guys are going to see the wither. There is no slowness, sadly, but you guys will see the wither and poison aspect, and those go along with like fire aspect and whatnot. We do have things like wisdom, which are going to give you additional XP. So like a pigman will give you actually like almost like a level, whereas before it gave you kind of like a half to 3/4. You have the vertically, which is going to send them flying into the air. If we were playing against a player, there would be a 5% chance that the player would be disarmed using this. Then we have Purging, which Purging is actually going to do extra damage against nether mobs, similar to the hunter or monster hunter or whatever enchant that was before. And then Leech is actually going to it's going to possibly be able to give you hearts based on when you hit an enemy above 5 damage. So it has a chance to give you some health back, and then also if you kill the enemy, there'll be additional chance. So anyway, just to go through those, we're going to spawn in some of these guys here. So I can hit this guy here. The poison's actually not going to affect him that much, but if I use the wither effect does affect them. So as you guys can see, that these guys are getting wither affected right now. Where did that guy go? Did he just go into here? Okay, we're going to kill him. So the wither effect is doing its job. We then have wisdom, so wisdom will just kill them and more XP will drop. Then we're going to have the vertically, which is kind of cool. So as you guys can see, we're going to drop down this guy. Boom! Boom! He's flying up into the air and he's taking fall damage, which is great. The next one over is going to be Disarm, which we can't really test, so we're not going to. Purging is just going to deal extra hearts of damage. So as you guys can see, pretty much all of these guys are just going to be taking 11 hearts per hit, which is pretty good. And finally, Leech is going to give you the possibility of getting hearts back, which again can't really demonstrate just because of how rare it is, and I would probably get hit before you guys could actually notice it. So anyway, clearing our inventory there, and now we're going to talk about these guys, Edged and Vigor. So Edged is actually going to make it more likely that you get, or deal more damage when you guys hit an enemy or a mob or a player even. So if I were to grab this guy, so I'm going to grab a diamond pick here, I'm going to put an edged pick right next to it. So we're going to demonstrate right here for you guys. When we drop down a mob, boom, we hit him. That's only about 5 hearts of damage or 5 HP, but when we hit him with this Vigor pick, it's actually going to do twice as much. Now to show you guys the edged pick is flip that. The edged pick is going to deal more damage, and the Vigor pick is going to deal, actually pretty much be efficiency. So as you guys can see, if I actually switch out of game mode here, there we go. So there we go, we're in survival now. So if I actually, start digging with this Vigor pick, it's a lot faster than a default diamond pick. So that's pretty much just like efficiency. But where this diversifies itself is it'll actually consistently mine at that speed with every type of block, and this works on any tool. So pretty much you guys could have just like a really awesome, if you added like Unbreaking to this, you guys could have a really awesome pick that will mine through anything, which is quite cool. So it does, dirt, it does stone, it'll actually do wood, if I could show you guys a little bit more with that wood. So here we go, let's go up here, and boom, as you guys can see, mining just as fast as an axe, which is pretty cool. So anyway, those are those ones. We're actually going to switch ourselves right back to game mode here and clear our inventory one more time so that we can show you guys the armor. So the armor, there's actually 2 chest plates, 2 pants, and 3 boots. So we're going to show you guys the boots first, along with the pants in there. So we're going to give ourselves, so basically high jump boots, kind of self-explanatory, boom. You can jump really high. It's kind of cool. Then we're going to have the Swiftness. So the Swiftness, depending on the level, will give you varying levels of speed, so it'll make you run faster. So pretty cool again. But now we have Ice Step, and I'm actually going to show you guys Ice Step with Cloud. So Ice Step's actually going to spawn in a 5x5 block of ice when you walk on water. On top of that, it's also going to, if you're walking on lava, it's going to make cobblestone appear around you. Now, the reason why I wanted to pair this with Cloud is, say you want to jump into a big thing of water or something similar, very easily you could jump off here, and if you hit space and, oh, okay, I did that wrong, I double jumped. if we're running, right, and we hit space in midair, we're actually going to flutter down very slowly, and when we hit the water, we're actually going to start running across it like so. So that's kind of cool. I definitely do like it. So I'm actually hitting space in midair to make myself like coast a little bit longer, which is kind of cool. So it's going to make me sort of coast. I don't know if you guys can, I don't know if you can even really notice it. But there, as you guys can see, I'm going like coasting a little bit longer by holding space in the air. So it's making me flutter down to the ground. So I don't know, again, how much you guys notice that. But anyway, that's that. It's pretty cool. The next one that we're going to be talking about is going to be the Steadfast. So Steadfast is just going to make it so if you guys get hit with something like knockback, you guys, it'll actually reduce 100% of the knockback. So you actually won't get knocked back at all, which is quite cool. So then if we were to talk about, so let's throw some of these into our inventory here. And so now if we have the magnetic chest plate on, ideally what should happen. So what should happen is when we throw out these items, it'll automatically like throw them back in our inventory for us. Now I haven't really noticed that too much. I think there's something wrong with the magnetic because I did see it working once, and then it wasn't. So one of the issues that I'm seeing is, see, look, it's throwing these items out over there for some reason, which is really weird. So I don't know if that's a bug or not, or something that's just me. But anyway, that's kind of what I've been noticing. Now moving on to the last item, and that is going to be the Regeneration chestplate. So the Regeneration chestplate's pretty cool. We're gonna give ourselves some steak here so that we can show it to you guys. But pretty much, you guys might just think, oh no, Nick, it's just gonna give you Regeneration, that's it. It's actually not. It's going to give you something much cooler than that, and actually something that I personally really like, and I think it's one of the best enchants that have been added with this mod. But we're actually going to switch ourselves back into game mode here and spawn in this guy. So when we hit him, he's going to start taking some of our hearts, but if we actually hit shift, as you guys can see, so if he takes some more of our hearts, we're going to run this way, and we're actually just going to hold shift, and it's going to give all of our hearts back in exchange for hunger. So as long as I keep this bar full, so as long as I keep on eating this steak here, I can keep on just keeping my hearts up. Now it won't allow me to go any less than 3. So any less than 3, it's not going to allow me to starve myself. So anyway, we are going to do that. It's not going to allow me to starve myself, but it will allow me to, you know, take hearts when I need it, which I think is quite cool and would be awesome in like a PvP type scenario. So anyway, hopefully you guys did enjoy. Make sure you guys slam that like button down below if you guys did. Make sure you guys comment down below telling the mod developer anything that you guys might want to know. I often do send these videos to the mod developers, and they often check out the comments, so make sure you guys leave one for him down below. It is an awesome mod, and I really do think it's great, and you guys should install it. If you guys want to install it, it is a Forge compatible mod, so you guys only need to install Forge mod loader, which you guys can click the annotation on screen or the link in the description to teach you guys how to do so. But anyway, as for all of that, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe, join the nation, check out my server, mcwarside.com. But anyway, I'm the Doctor, and I'm out. Bye!